Welcome to Local Holsteins. My name is Perry, and I'm a fourth-generation dairy farmer here in Victoria County. I'm farming here with my husband Dan, and we've been farming together for about 6 years.
Free Choice Pasture is where we give cows access to the pasture field all day, so they could be out there during the day or night. And with the sun out and the heat of the summer, the cows will prefer to be in the barn where the shade and the ventilation is, but they will generally come out at sunset and through the night when it's cooler outside for them as well. When I get here first thing in the morning, we'll pick a handful of cows that have already been milked through the robot and allow them access to the pasture in the morning before the sun's up and too much heat's there. We then chore in the barn, have everybody fed and bed for the day. We will bring those handful of cows back in. They have free choice all day round. There wouldn't really be much maintenance on our end. We would just be checking the robot that there's not a cow that's been out on pasture for too long and needs milked. And at that point, we would maybe go out to the pasture to bring her in to make sure she is being milked on time, and that she would then have access to come back out again. So being able to give them that choice of whenever they want to be, wherever they want to be, we find to be most valuable to the cow's longevity of her life and the quality of her life.
So the main reason we believe that there's health benefits in having our cows on pasture is that we feel that the cows can come outside, get their hooves into some dirt. We think it's beneficial for their joints and muscles to be out here on a pasture system. So when they come out on pasture, they get pretty excited. They kind of get running around and playing with each other. So that's what we also believe is beneficial to their health. If it's really cold outside, the cows, their feet aren't great on the ice and snow, so they don't really want to be out here when it's overly cold. They'd rather be tucked into the barn where it's a little bit more cozy. It's the cold weather and the hot weather as well. When it's really, really hot, sometimes the only place you want to be is in your air conditioning, and the cows feel the same way. So they like to be in the barn where there's lots of air moving through. On the pasture as well, the flies sometimes they swarm around the cows. If it's a really hot day with no breeze, that's another challenge. The cows really don't like to be wet. The best thing for a cow's feet and udder health is to be as dry as possible. Sometimes in the spring and fall when it's really rainy and muddy, we could run into issues with it being too wet, and we wouldn't want the cows to get any kind of injuries if it's too wet or too cold or something like that. So those are some of the challenges that we've run into, or we anticipate to run into, with them having access to pasture all year long. We believe that middle of November, when things start to get wet and icy and a little bit colder, we'll just keep the cows in the barn from probably mid-November to the middle of May. Things start to really dry up, and when we're in the fields planting our crops, it's normally dry enough to get going on the ground, so we'll let the cows out of the barn probably around the middle of May. It'd be about half of the year they'll have access to the free choice pasture, and half of the year they'd be tucked into the nice conditions of the barn.
We are fortunate at our size. We're currently milking between 50 and 60 cows on any given day. And with that size, it's quite manageable to be able to put them out on pasture. We conveniently have a pasture field that's about 8 acres, and it directly connects to the barn. So the free choice system that we are hoping to go to should be quite manageable, as the pasture goes directly to the barn and there's plenty of space for the number of cows that we're milking. Our goals for the future of our pasturing is to be full free choice for all of our cows that are lactating all at once. So by training a handful at a time this summer, we're hoping to be full free choice by next summer. I hope you guys were able to learn a little bit about how we're pasturing here now and how we hope to go to the free choice system and grow our pasture field for the free choice access for the cows.